Turn flight director to on. And enter your V2 speed, which is 174 knots, the FMC. You want to arm LNAV and VNAV functions by clicking on them. Select our first altitude, 3,000 feet. That's on our flight plan and the FMC. A autopilot disengage bar must be up. Set the trim settings, 6. Fuel control switches must be cut off. Open the communication panel. Auto brakes to RTO rejected takeoff. TCAS to standby test, and then to TARA. TCAS biasing mode to above. No smoking sign on. Seatbelt sign on. Yeah, I don't know why I turned it back off, but no big deal. Flight deck door locked. Open the ACAS panel. Click on the fuel button. And open the overhead panel. You can now turn all fuel pumps on, and you'll see the ACAS panel changing. You need to wait for the switches to turn green on the ACAS panel, or blue. And you can close the ACAS panel and the overhead panel, and we're done with the cockpit preparation. Okay, so now the engine startup and pushback checklist. So we're going to turn the beacon light on. Turn packs 2 and 3 off. Hydraulic demand pumps 1, 2, and 3 to auto. And engine bleed air switches on. Open the ACAS display. Set parking brakes to off and start the pushback. Turn the continuous ignition on. Auto start off. Pull engine 1 and 4 start sectors. Open the throttle display. Click on the eng button of the ACAS, and you need to wait for the white bar to get to the magenta line, and then put fuel control switches 1 and 4 to run. Now do the same for engine 2 and 3. Pull the start sectors and wait for the white bar to get to the magenta line. Put both fuel control switches to run. So we've just started the engines being pushed back slowly. Turn the APU off, APU bleed air off. Packs 2 and 3 back to norm. Hydraulic demand pump 4 to auto. Sorry. Turn taxi lights on. Set flaps to 20. And pushback checklist is over. Okay, so we're currently at the hold position point. I'm gonna turn landing lights and strobe light on. Wait for takeoff clearance. We can now taxi to the runway and get lined up for takeoff. Okay, so we're lined up on the runway for takeoff. You want to check the autopilot settings, and if everything's okay, gently push the thrust levers forward, and until you get to 80 knots, press the yoke forward.
V1. Rotate.
Pull on the yoke.
V2.
And we are airborne. Turn on the autopilot. Landing gear going up. I'm gonna raise the flaps on schedule. To do so, just look at the PFD display on the left of the panel. It's the artificial horizon, and next to the speed indicator you will see green letters, and those are they indicate the flap configuration you want to be at when reaching those speeds. So you see at 190 knots we want to go flaps 10.
744 heavy, Norfolk approach, roger, current altimeter 2974, 744 heavy, turn left heading 2905.
Okay, flaps 10.
Climb and maintain 10,000.
210 knots we want to go flaps 5. And the plane autopilot is controlling the plane, following the flight plan. Flaps 5. At 230 knots, we want to go flap 1.
Turn left heading 265. Turn left heading 265. 744 heavy.
Flaps 1. And around 250 knots, we want to go flaps up. The landing gear lever is to its off position. Forgot to say that before. And we're climbing to our cruising altitude. Now I want to turn landing lights and taxi lights off.